Over the last 30 days, my client Georgie Perez went ahead and booked 77 new clients into his barbering business and scaled his monthly income by 2.5K this month, giving him a grand total of making 9K for the month. In the first 2 months of working with us, he's grown his income already by 4.5K in the first 60 days. And in this episode, what I want to go ahead and cover is the harsh reality of a barber business that no one talks about. Because for Georgie Perez prior, he had been stuck, hopeless, trying to just do the redundant cycle of what the OG barber model had given him. And he was really losing hope and giving up hope on if barbering was actually going to create freedom for him. And so in this episode, we're going to cover exactly what needs to happen inside of your business and how we help Georgie as well too. Now, a couple caveats of this episode before we dive in. This is going to be a podcast episode, so that means audio only after I get done with this intro. So there's not going to be a visual. So feel free to go ahead and close your phone. You can go ahead and listen to this episode while you're taking a walk, while you're at the gym, or even cutting hair. I would recommend you put the playback speed of this video at 1.5 or 2x speed. That way, again, too, you can listen to it fairly quickly while still understanding it. And if at any point in time and during this episode you get annoyed by ads from YouTube, I will, in the comments down below, I'll link an ad-free podcast episode of this podcast. That way you don't have to get interrupted from the ads that are playing on YouTube. And they'll be on either Apple Music or Spotify, whichever one you recommend. Both my podcasts are both on Apple Music and Spotify. There's no bullshit with Deluxe on both platforms. Now, go ahead and put this at 2.5x speed. Feel free to close your phone because there's going to be no visual on the screen, only audio. And really, guys, putting you guys on game of really what nobody talks about as a barber business and the struggles that we go through and really how to overcome them. So let's go ahead and get started. Business is a very hard game to play. It is a unrelenting game. It's a never-ending game. And it's a game between you versus you. I think it's that part of the business is very overlooked. Of course, we can always go into strategy, social media stuff, but let's be honest. Business can be the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And really, how do we manage those lows? How do we push past them? How do we break past that point in ourselves? I think I've been lucky enough, or I should say unlucky enough, but I've been lucky enough to have gone through low spells and get through high spells and have everything in between. And every time I've had a low moment in my experience as a barber or just in business in general, is a very, it's a very heavy feeling. Feels like a lot of things, like nothing's going right. Feels like it just feels like that business is always against you and like you just weren't chosen to win. And as barbers, it's hard because you go into the shop every fucking day and you see other barbers winning while you're not, and it's kind of like, it's a very embarrassing game. And this episode has no real narrative to it. I just felt compelled to make this episode and kind of talk about that and really how I try and have gotten through those moments in my life and things and practices I still use to this day during tougher times. And in my experience as a barber, it is a very embarrassing thing when you're not doing well or you've been at the same level and you've just been not growing the business. And it's kind of like you're just getting punched in the dick, right? Or it feels like, I should say it feels like getting punched in the dick because it doesn't hurt. It just feels like it's like a numb feeling, right? Like it's kind of just like you just do the same thing. There's no life at all. And that can become very demotivating, especially as barbers. We got to be people. We got to talk to our clients every day. We got to go into the shop every single day. We got to show up and look as though we are, everything's a-okay. And a lot of times that fakeness that we put on, it kind of carries over in our everyday lives. And what I mean by that is, you try as a barber, because of course you're going to the shop, you're seeing all these clients, so you try to put on like everything's all good, you're happy, you're go lucky, and basically we try to turn our cheek towards the problem. Now, good news is obviously we don't become like a little sad little fuck in the shop every single day, so we at least don't look like kind of fucking awkward. The bad news is that we get so good at turning that thing off. We get so good at turning our cheek that we never look back when the day is done to look at the problem to start fixing it. And we just almost by nature continue to not look at the problem and, let's say, ignore it. And the only thing that happens when you ignore a problem is like anything in life. Let's say you ignore your food in the fridge for a whole year. Shit's gonna grow some gnarly fucking shit. And just like if you look away at the problems that are currently going on in your life or your business, the longer that you don't take a look at it and face it and try to handle it and fix it, the more and larger and bigger it grows. And as barbers, again, too, like we're going to the shop every single day. We get like for 12, 8, 10 hours or wherever how long you're in the shop, you're turning that cheek every single day to the problems. And you probably get a few hours by yourself where you actually have to like deal with it, but you just don't. And one of the things I've always tried to do in my life is I've always tried to just like be very objective about what's actually going on. What am I not doing correctly? And try to face that beast, because I need to be able to fix it. Because like into turning the cheek ain't gonna do a damn thing. And again, when I was a barber, I stayed stuck at $16-20 for about 2 years straight, not making any money. I was saving money, but I wasn't making any money. I was very, very miserable. In those whole entire 2 years, I was turning the cheek to like to the problems of my business. I kind of just ignored it. I'm like, I gotta be grateful, gotta be happy. All this other bull crap, right? But deep down, I wasn't happy. Deep down, I wasn't fulfilled. It was like barbering became just like this thing that was like draining, and like it lost its life, and I lost the love for coming in every single day. It almost became like a dreadful thing. Like every single day, every time I got out of the car, it was like a big, let's put this fucking mask on. And that's not fun to do every single day, especially around other people. And it wasn't until I faced like what I wasn't doing in business, wasn't marketing, wasn't like learning how to improve my business, wasn't even learning business at the point in time when I was a barber. And it wasn't until I started looking at what the fuck the problem was, I never fixed it. And step one in this whole entire sequencing is like, you have to be able to face that fucking thing. Stop turning your fucking cheek, right? The motherfucker ain't going away, dude. It's going to stay right there no matter how hard you try to look away, no matter how long you try to look away from it. It's going to fucking be there waiting for you. Like that pile of shit in the fucking, well, hopefully nobody has a pile of shit in the refrigerator, but it's like a pile of shit in the refrigerator. It's just sitting there waiting on you. You better fucking fix it. Because if you don't, guess what's going to happen? It's going to fester. It's going to grow some mangy shit. And it's going to keep on growing and growing, getting worse and worse the longer that you wait. And look, as barbers, like, look, man, I get it. Like, look, we do so much for our clients. We talk to them. We're like their therapists, but like, we also have to take care of our shit. We have to be able to make sure we're okay, meaning growing the business, because it's my personal fucking opinion. Everyone would be much more happier, especially as a man, provider, someone who wants independence. You'd be so much happier if you were making $10K per month. A lot of your problems would disappear. But it's because we're not addressing those problems. It's because we keep on turning the cheek. We keep on being our pride and fucking ego as the reason why we're not fucking looking at it and slaying that beast. Now, of course, once you look at it, like, it's like Alcohol's Anonymous. The first step is always admitting you have a problem. First step is always looking and addressing the problem. What is actually currently going on? Step number 2. It's a little bit the harder thing, right? Because, like, let's say the hardest thing is probably actually turn your fucking cheek and look into it, see there's a problem. Step number 2, which is also very hard for me when I was a barber, was, of course, doing, like, once I understood what the problem was, obviously I found a solution. I figured out what I needed to be able to do. But then it's like, hang on. Why are we not doing the work? Why do I know what I need to be able to do, yet I'm not doing it? Why do I know I need to be able to get the help, but I'm not doing it? Why am I still not asking for help? Why am I still not reaching out to get a mentor? Even though I know that's the most logical thing for me to do. Looking back, it was so dumb for me. Right? I had no clue how to run a business.
I'm like, nah, man, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if that's worth that thing overall. I could probably just figure it out on my own. But it's like, dude, I have the results. I have, at that point in time, 21 years of my fucking life. I have proof. I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. What the fuck, what type of mindset I would have. Like, it took me 21 years and I still didn't have the business I wanted. So I was 21 years old at the time. And so why the fuck do I think I need more time? More time isn't going to fix anything. I need change. Yeah, why wasn't I going ahead and getting and doing that thing? I knew I needed to do it, but why wasn't I doing it? And one of the things I came across was that sometimes when I was in a like very, let's say, poor mindset or belief, one of the things I had to start doing was I had to stop making decisions from who I was at that point in time. Meaning, Daniel, who I was, the person, how I thought and made decisions wise, that got me the results I was getting in my business. And so if I wanted different results, I had to make different decisions. And so one thing that I felt was that has been super powerful for me is whenever I need to make a decision or I need to do something, or let's say something's a little bit more hard of a task to do and I'm like, it's a struggle. One thing I try to do is I try to, first of all, identify someone who I look up to. It could be Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. Those are entrepreneurs that I'm very inspired by. It could be Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, athletes I'm inspired by. Someone who has a very large amount of success, right? Who has achieved GOAT status. That's why I try to optimize myself off of GOAT status. Not just like, oh yeah, they're cool, I think they're cool. No, GOAT status. Like the best of the best. Like undeniable, this person is a fucking winner and has beaten everyone. That's what I want. Not like a fucking scumbag. And I try to take my thought process to this. Like, let's say Michael Jordan, right? I'm like, okay, if Michael Jordan was sucking at something or wasn't achieving a goal, and he found someone that could help him overall, what would Michael Jordan do? Would he say, nah, I'll try and figure it out on my own, or would he get the fucking help? Because Michael Jordan would get the fucking help. And so I take that same mental mind frame of like, hey, think like Michael Jordan in this instance. Don't think like Daniel, who's only making $12 a hair or $20 a haircut. Let's think like Michael Jordan, because if I want to make decisions, if all decisions or all results are just based on actions I take, and all actions I take are made up from the decisions I make and the thoughts that go through my head, therefore, I need to think and make decisions and act differently than who I am right now, because who I am right now, I see the results I have right now. And that's not the results I want. And I see the results Michael Jordan has, and I want those fucking results. Therefore, I must think and act like him. So then I went ahead and thought, okay, if Michael Jordan came up in this situation, what would MJ do, right? And it's like, oh, dude, like it's very easy to kind of like go through a thinking process like, well, what would this person do? And it's like, oh, well, they would do this. And it's like, well, if you want to have their results, you should probably start acting like how they make decisions wise. So if Michael Jordan got a fucking mentor, if Michael Jordan got help, well, I'm definitely going to get help. If Michael Jordan got help and was working with a coach overall, how would he be taking action? Would he kind of be like dicking around here doing nothing? Or would he be first in line, always showing up on time, going 100%? Because if that's what that motherfucker is doing, then I'm going to be doing that motherfucking thing. And that right there changed a lot for me. Because now I didn't have to rely on who I was to make decisions. I can make decisions based on past people's prior success and the results they got. And the funny thing was, when I started doing that, I started seeing success. And the funny thing was as well too, when I started doing that and started seeing more success, people were like, man, how do you make decisions? Man, Daniel, you're a great decision. Wow, that was a great decision. How do you even come up with that? How did you think of that? I'm like, easy. I just thought, what would Michael Jordan do? Easy. Just thought, what would Steve Jobs do? Well, I just thought what Elon Musk would do. Just have Jeff Bezos. What would he do? It made my decision process stupidly simple. And the more that you can change your decisions on what you do and the actions that you take, the better results you will get in your business and in your life. And so I know I started this podcast off like, hey, business is a very hard road, but business can be a very easy road based on the decisions you make if you change that thing up. If you do not change that thing up, you will never have the correct decision. You will never have the results you actually want to achieve or want to have inside of your business. Again, this was going to be like an episode that was just like kind of free flowing, but I just want you to know and understand very, very clearly that you don't have to go ahead and stay stuck in this business. You don't have to feel lost anymore. There are tons of things out there that can help you grow and scale, and you know of these things. Obviously, we run a program as well too. If you decide to work with us, that's phenomenal. If not, that is what it is. You can do. You're your own man. You can make your own decisions. But here's the thing. You know what doing what you're doing right now has gotten you. And more than likely, if you're still listening to this podcast, you're probably at least not the most satisfied with where you're at. You have to face that. You have to face that truth. You have to face that, like, let's say, beast. You can't stop turning your cheek to it. There's too many people relying on you. There's too many people that are relying on you that don't even know it. Might be your mom, might be your dad, might be your brother, sister, whoever, girlfriend, husband, whoever it is. They're counting on you to be the best version of yourself, and yet you decide to not show up, and yet you decide, I'll just kind of procrastinate on things, and yet you're like, I'll kind of wait on making decisions overall. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe not right now. Maybe a little bit. No, I don't know about that. The only thing certain, and for me and you, the only thing certain out here is that eventually we are going to die at some point in time. That is 1,000%, 1,000,000%. I can guarantee that. What you do between now and when you die, I cannot guarantee whatsoever. You cannot guarantee that at all. I cannot guarantee you'll be a great success or if you'll be a bum on the street. But what I can guarantee is that you're going to have a period of time between now and the time that you die to write your own fucking story. And whether you like it right now, you are currently writing that story. And so I always try to think about it like this. Eventually, like I said before, I'm going to die. And I hopefully might be laying in a deathbed. Right? I might be, hopefully if I'm blessed enough to die of old age, I could be laying in my deathbed and kind of, reminisce. And if I ever get the honor to do that, if I ever get the honor to go out like that, the last thing I ever want to, it might be a blessing and a curse, right? Jury's still out on that. Could be a blessing because I can look back on everything I did in my life and all the hard moments that I was able to make the best decisions possible and grow from them and push through them. And I might have the blessing to be able to look back on my life and be like, yes, I'm fucking proud. That was a well fucking done life. I left nothing on the fucking table. Or it could be a curse. It could be a curse in the sense that I have to sit there and just wait out until the last breath and just keep on reliving and remembering and regretting all the times I didn't take advantage and all the times I didn't push hard enough. Now, both of those options are on the table for me. Both of those options are on the table for you if you have the honor to die a death on a deathbed. I know it's kind of getting dark, but you should already know what the fuck's going on. Your motherfucking ass clicked on this podcast. I didn't. So you should already been aware of what you were getting into. But if you have the honor of doing that, you have both options on the table right now. Either looking back on deathbed and being like, man, I'm fucking so grateful that I actually did everything impossible. I pushed myself past, again, to all those low moments. I didn't give up. Or it would be, again, to the deathbed of failure, the deathbed of regret, which is looking back like, why didn't I do this? And just kicking yourself over and over and over. Why didn't you go ahead and take advantage of the time? And I know for me in my life, the last thing I ever want to do is be able to have to lay on my deathbed for months, days, years, however long it is, and just be a living corpse of just regret of what I could have and should have done. And I know from now until that point in time, I can make any changes I want to make sure I change that narrative. But I want you to keep in mind right now, what are you doing right now? You right now, the actions you're taking. If you were on the deathbed right now, based on the time in life, if you were reliving this moment in life right now on your deathbed and remembering it, would you be filled with regret because you did not fucking push this thing forward, because you kept fucking staying comfortable, because you did not do what you were supposed to do, and you stayed complacent? Because if that is the case, I think both you and I know something needs to fucking change. And if that doesn't scare the living crap out of you, I don't know what the fuck will to get you to move this business forward. I don't know what will to actually push this motherfucking thing forward. But you still have time to change it. You must. The only way to change it is to start making different decisions. The decisions you've been waiting on this whole entire fucking time. Because I don't think any of us want to live with that seed of regret just slowly burning away on a deathbed. So, if you're a barber who's actually trying to look and grow and scale their business, I have a couple things for you. I hope you don't mind I make you an offer right now. Of course I have to. In terms of doing this podcast, I would be doing you a disservice at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, because we help barbers grow and scale to $20K per month. We've been doing this for the last 5 years. I've worked with over 1,400 other barbers in the United States, Canada, and Australia to scale them up. You've been seeing all the results. You've heard all the testimonies on the podcast, yet we're still not working together. Here's my one offer to you overall. Okay, if you are a barber who's actually serious about making a change on your business, actually wants to make a different decision, and is tired of getting the same results over and over and over again, I will leave a link down below. You can book a 15-minute call with my team. We can take a look at your business. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to work with every single person. Not every barber is number one driven. We're not looking for somebody who's a little bit of a wuss, or somebody who's not going to actually come in and work at this thing. Me and my team, we are a driven fucking squad. We only want dogs, and we want people who actually want to do great fucking shit. Because our shit right now fucking works for barbers. Right now, our average barber in the first 30 days gets an average increase of about 2.2K on their monthly income in the first 30 days of working with us. In the first 9 days of working with us, our average barber adds 69K to the yearly income. I am sorry, I don't know anybody else or what other barber, anything that has been able to produce results on our level for this fucking long. And if you're a barber who actually wants to take this serious and actually wants to get that help and get to that level, it's always been there for you. You've been hearing me talk about it for a while. I will leave a link down below for you to book a call with me and my team so we can take a look at your business. Again, we don't work with everyone. But at the end of the day, you do need to make a change in this business. And if you are going to come work with us, be ready to go all in and burn the boats moment, because you will grow and scale this business. But you just need to actually make that decision of actually moving the fuck forward. I will also leave a link down below to our free community if you want to check out what we do. However, if you're an action taker, if Michael Jordan was given an opportunity to just kind of check things out or do it, what would Michael Jordan do? Make better decisions. Make decisions that you won't regret in the long term. And even if you have made decisions that you regret, you still have time to fix it. And with that, I'll see you in the next podcast.